Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
The Office of Personnel Management is giving many employees in its healthcare and insurance division another chance to accept voluntary incentives and leave their jobs ahead of their busy season. OPM is giving most employees working there another shot at the deferred resignation program that will allow them to go on paid administrative leave for 6 months before officially leaving the agency. OPM's making these changes ahead of an agency reorganization and open season. Federal News Network's Jory Heckman is here with more. Jory, welcome.
Hey, Eric. Great to be here.
So what's prompting these changes, and who is eligible to actually accept these incentives?
I'll take that last part first. Most employees in its healthcare and insurance division are eligible for the deferred resignation program and voluntary early retirement authority. The only people who are not eligible to take these offers are folks working in OPM's Office of the Actuaries and Systems Development and Implementation. So that's a relatively small exception carved out there, but everyone else, they're eligible to take these offers. And they have some time to figure this out, but this is all coming up ahead of OPM trying to embark on some changes within this part of the agency. They say that there's some agency reorganization efforts soon underway, and so they want to give employees an opportunity to leave on their own terms before that happens. And perhaps as a preview of what's to come, last month, Shane Stevens, the former top official of this part of OPM, said he was voluntarily resigning from OPM, and there are more changes to come.
What kind of timeline are those employees who are eligible? What are they looking at? How much time do they have to make their decision?
They've got a couple of weeks to figure this out. They have until roughly the close of business on July 13th to either accept the deferred resignation offer or the voluntary early retirement offers. And what would happen for the DRP folks if they opt in and OPM approves their paperwork, they would go on paid administrative leave starting on August 31st, and they would officially separate from the agency on March 1st in the new year.
We've seen this before at other agencies where the administration seems to close the window and then reopen it and then close it again, then reopen it. Is this becoming a common thing? I mean, how often are we going to see agencies give employees another shot at the deferred resignation program?
Right. We've seen a number of agencies open the window again for employees to take the DRP offer. One thing that we saw earlier this year is that the Interior Department gave employees a third shot at the DRP. So much so, they got so many takers on that Interior Secretary Doug Burgum later told Congress that the department was no longer considering involuntary reductions in force. So they seem to have gotten a pretty high uptake on people voluntarily leaving the agency and getting a little bit of paid administrative leave for their troubles there. More recently, the Small Business Administration also recently gave employees another chance at the DRP offer. This was confirmed by an SBA spokesperson and the American Federation of Government Employees, which represents SBA employees.
Speaking here with Federal News Network reporter Jory Heckman. So why exactly is OPM looking to shed staff now when, as you mentioned, this is coming up on the height of their busy season?
Yeah, they're leading up to it, at least. As far as OPM's workload, open season is pretty high up on the list. I mean, this is a government-wide change. This is federal employees, postal service employees, having a window starting in November to make any changes to their health plans that they need to do. And that's the only time of the year that they're able to do that. So OPM, of course, is gearing up for those changes. November is not that far away in the greater scheme of things. And OPM has called on health carriers who participate in the Federal Employee Health Benefits Plan and the postal equivalent. They've asked them a considerable amount of things to do as far as changes. They've asked them to address some of the chronic conditions that impact federal employees and that they get coverage for. And they've really been pushing this idea of well care, the idea of federal employees doing more to avoid some of those chronic conditions so that they are less expensive to insure.
What are some of the other changes happening when it comes to administrative leave in the federal workforce overall, not just at OPM?
Yeah, so interesting enough, OPM on the same day as this announcement to employees, they also rolled out a proposed rule that would update some of its regulations that apply government-wide on the appropriate uses of administrative leave to include workforce realignment initiatives like what we're talking about. And so this is clearly something that agencies have already been doing. So this is really more of a formality more than anything else. But this proposed rule also stressed that agencies have the sole and exclusive discretion of whether to approve or deny an employee's request to withdraw the resignation before they officially separate from the agency. That's something we saw play out last year. I'll give you an example. The IRS on its end rescinded hundreds of DRP offers to employees because they were running out of staff too quickly. They said, actually, we need some of you to stay on the job. But on the other end of things, employees have not been able to say, never mind on their end. So this guidance from OPM is saying agencies really have the unilateral decision whether to approve or deny that withdrawal of their resignation.
Federal News Network Jory Heckman, thank you as always.
Thanks, Eric.
And you can find more of Jory's reporting at federalnewsnetwork.com.